Hey guys, Drifter here. I just got back from PAX East and I wanted to do a commentary about it. It was so fun and so new for me. I've never been to a big convention before. I've never been to the American Northeast, New England, whatever, so Boston was a radically new and different experience for me. And I've never met most of the people that I got to meet at PAX East, so I was really excited about it. It was a really fun trip, and I kind of wanted to tell you guys all about it. J-Hub killed everybody, and then I got C4'd here in the beginning when they all respawned. This is me at PAX with my wife, the busty Asian Ada Wong, and the rest of the Resident Evil cosplayers that we ran into. That's more or less how I look the whole time. But the first thing that I want to talk to you today about is all the people that I got to meet. And it is really, really different meeting a person in real life versus on the internet. When you meet them on the internet, you don't have a good idea of the size of the person. You don't really hear their real voice. You hear a modulated voice through a microphone and then through your speaker. You don't get a sense of how strong their handshake is, how they feel, how they carry themselves, and all these other little details, even the smell of the person. Not like I was going around smelling these people, because that would just be a little bit weird, but that can sometimes make a difference. I'm getting off track here. Anyway, got to meet a lot of cool people. I want to talk about all the new people that I've met. I've met some other YouTubers at other places, but let's talk about the people that I've never met before. I got to meet Big Snacks. Big Snacks was really nice, really friendly. I expected him to be younger than he was. He was actually a little bit older than me. I'm 25. He looked like he was about 30-ish, so it was kind of nice to see another old dog when everybody else is like 19, 20, 16, 17. That was very relieving. Big Snacks, nice guy. We didn't have a lot of time to chat. He was meeting up with a lot of Yoush partners, and I kind of bumped into him once or twice. Got to meet Jericho. Jericho is Jericho. He's really no different on the internet or in the videos than in real life. Nice, friendly fellow. Looks the same. Looks how I thought he would. Basically Jericho, good guy. I got to meet Captain Sparkles. He was a slightly smaller person than I was expecting. I met a lot of other YouTubers first, and the running joke was that all YouTubers are super huge and super tall and like big behemoths. Captain Sparkles was actually normal sized, and he was very, I would say, humble looking. He just got done with a fan meetup, so he was actually a little bit tired. He just kind of had to ditch all the people following him. But a lot of people with these mega channels, they walk around kind of with a big air of confidence, and they have like an entourage. Captain Sparkles just kind of walking around by himself, hanging out, friendly, nice guy. I got to meet Vicstar, and again, he was essentially the same as he is in the videos. He was a little bit smaller than I expected. For some reason, I kind of thought Vicstar would be like this tall, lanky kind of guy. He was more in the normal size. Got to meet Gold Glove. I didn't get to spend much time with Gold Glove. Barely had a chance to talk to the guy. He was very busy, always walking around talking to people everywhere, big people person. Got to hang out with Mitch, and that's Bayesian Canadian, and Nooch from Awesome Sauce Films quite a lot. They were, again, the same as you see on the internet. Nooch actually was a little bit more reserved, a little bit less outgoing in person. Then again, he may just have been tired, and he had this big leather jacket that he wore everywhere, and for some reason I could not stop staring at Bayesian's earrings. I don't know what the deal was. Maybe I'm just been in the South too long. It's like guys with earrings. I just don't get it. But they were walking around meeting a lot of people, meeting fans, signing Minecraft memorabilia. Got to meet Noah Craft. KYR Speedy was freaking enormous. He was way taller than I expected. That's kind of where the joke came from. Unfortunately, he couldn't get in any bars just yet because he was 20 and turning 21 in a month or two, and nobody would let him in, so there were some awkward situations where we could get in places, but he couldn't. And I also met Matt, or Scuff, the Love Machine from Scuff Gaming. Met Duncan before, got to meet Matt this time rather unexpectedly, and we did the least organized giveaway ever, but it was still fun. Probably lots of other people I got to meet. Oh yeah, I got to meet Askacapper. You already saw the video about him. Got to meet Chuck, the can't-stand-up comedian. He was a very funny guy. He trolled my wife a little bit by tweeting some stuff about The Walking Dead. We did the button mapping video, which I accidentally linked the wrong petition to. So if you sign the old petition, I put the new petition down in the link in the description in this video. So I'd appreciate it if you check that out. Probably lots of other people that I'm forgetting. I got to meet all the people from Elgato, a couple other different sponsor companies that I work with. PAX itself was very fun. There were quite a few playable demos. Some of the other people that had been to other conventions were complaining that there weren't as many playable demos. I got to play EVE Online Dust, the first-person shooter part of EVE Online, and how it integrates with the actual space MMO economy game is really neat. You can take out contracts from space that target things on the ground, and if you're on the ground, you can laser target, and the PC players can blast it from space, which is pretty cool. The Elder Scrolls Online had a playable demo there, but the line for that was absurd. There was no way that I could get in for that. Same thing with Dead Island Riptide. I did wait to see some exclusive Watch Dogs stuff, League of Legends. Indie booths were the place to go if you actually want to play something, you want to sit down and play a game. Indie booths, man. Indie booths, you wait 10 minutes, you get to play the whole game. Everybody's really friendly. That was kind of the cool thing, is that PAX had indie games. MLG and especially something like E3, it's 100% corporate, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but some people don't like that. And it's all big business. People with lots of money, big fancy booths, big stuff to show off. The indie game section, this was like shoestring budgets, people in college making games, little small-time game developers trying to make it big. Some of the games in the indie booths were very cool. Some of them I've gone up and looked at and got some stuff going on. Some of them kind of stunk, but that's what you get over there in the mixed section. Is, you know, high risk, high reward. Some of these people are going to be awesome developers one day. Some of them are going to get a job somewhere else. I also got to play with the Moga controller. I'm going to be getting one of those to review pretty soon, which is pretty neat. It's something that works on Android and iPhone devices, so you can play first-person shooters on your phone. Overall, I just wish that the lines were shorter because I don't like waiting 3 hours to play a 15-minute demo. That's very difficult. So the next time I go, I'm definitely going to get a press pass. Got to get that press pass so I can just skip through all those lines and play. And the cool thing about a press pass is you can one-up just so many of your friends and bring them along. So I'm going to go ahead and pay the double, triple money, whatever, and get the press pass. The next time I'm going to be able to play everything. The theaters that they had going on, each wing, I will say, of the convention center had several different theaters in it. Inside each theater there was a meetup of some kind. There were people that talked about video game violence. Rocket from DayZ was there. We had a Minecraft panel. There was a bad mobile app panel. There were JRPG panels. Some of them had contests going on. Some had tournaments going on. Some people were playing Jenga. They had a gigantic tabletop section. Half of the convention center was people playing old tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons and that kind of stuff. And then there was this whole other section just for PC players to hook up and play in this massive PC LAN. PAX, this is the smaller PAX. This is the little one, and it was so big and so crazy. I could not have done everything if I wanted to. If I wanted to visit every single booth and do every single thing there, and, even excluding the theaters and stuff that were going on at the same time in different places, it would have been completely impossible. So you kind of have to pick and choose when you go there. There were also a lot of parties. Bethesda had a party. Theirs was kind of open to anyone. You can be under 18, but you have to be over 21 to drink. And if I'm not mistaken, they had it at a castle, or like a sort of castle-y sort of place, because they're Bethesda. The Riot Games people that do League of Legends, and the League of Legends booth was enormous. It was really huge, but they were giving out free characters at the League of Legends booth and free skins, and they started designing a character right there in front of all the fans, taking feedback and stuff, so that was really cool. But they had a pub crawl. They picked different pubs kind of in key locations in downtown Boston. It was kind of hard to get the map to look right, but they had an AD carry, they had a support, they had a mid, and you'd have to drink at these different pubs like you were the characters, and then go to the Nexus and drink at midnight or whatever, but I don't drink, so I didn't go to that. The Bad Kids party, I didn't go to. The one night that I was able to go there, I was just way too tired to do anything like that. Just completely bushed. The problem was that the Bad Kids party was almost an hour outside of actual Boston, expensive to get to, difficult to get to, and I just felt really bad that night, so I went to bed. I'm glad I did, because I was really tired overall. Boston itself was a very weird sort of experience for me. I've traveled a lot, but I've mostly traveled in the South. I've traveled a little bit in the West, you know, California desert, and just a smidgen in Seattle, but Seattle was like one big blur for me. I was only in the city for about 18 hours. It was really crazy. But Boston was very different. All the buildings very old. This is something that I'm not used to seeing. But the biggest difference for me is that there was no grass. Down here in the South, we have southern cities. Every strip of highway, every front lawn, every little sidewalk, everything has grass in it. There's grass everywhere. There's trees planted everywhere. Big trees, little trees, old trees, empty fields. Even in megacities like Dallas, there's just grass everywhere. Boston, there's no grass. People say that, and people are like, well, there's trees. Yeah, there's like 2 trees per block, not 300 trees per block, kind of like in the cities that I'm used to. So it's really alien for me to see the color green disappear and get replaced by concrete. I really didn't like that, but I do understand that's a necessity in a city like that. It was also neat to see all of the, I would say, big money jobs, because down in the South, all the jobs are production, manufacturing, management, agriculture, raw resource. Up there, the bigger or more important looking jobs that I saw in multiple floors of these buildings were all finance. There was day trading, there was investing, there was stocks, commodities, bonds, and there were very, very well-dressed people coming in and out in just suits. Everywhere suits, nothing but suits. Everywhere I looked, Preston, TBNR Frags, was wearing a purple hoodie and a bright blue shorts and sneakers, and he really, really stood out. And it was like snow, and this dude's standing out there in blue shorts and a purple hoodie that's not even zipped up, and all the people in suits walking by just staring at him. He stood out more than us, even though I was carrying luggage. But it was weird to see that these sort of finance jobs, these sort of investing jobs are real. I see them on TV, I hear that they exist, but it's very different when you see it in person, and it's just a little bit strange for me. It was also a bit strange to talk to the cabbies, because that's something you see on TV. All of the cabbies were from somewhere overseas, various different countries. It seemed a little bit more Eastern European, not as Indian as much as it is in New York. English varied from place to place. We had some cabbies that were good, that cut corners for us or dropped us off 1 block away to save us money. We had one cabbie take us to the wrong place and apologize, so he turned off the meter and then took us to the right destination for free. And then we had another cabbie that knew that we were tourists, and he took us the super long way around so he could charge 3 times as much. Very scummy. So you have a mixed bag of cabbies there, some nice, some not so nice. Most of them just get you to your destination. It's okay. That was again very different for me. I'm used to a city where everybody has cars. There are very, very few cabs down here in the South, even in places like Jackson, Memphis, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta. If you want a cab, you have to call one. You have to special order one. There's not just going to be cabs cruising around because every single person has a car down here. Up there, not as many people have cars. There's a lot more walking, a lot of biking actually, and quite a lot of public transit and cabbies, so that was kind of alien, but overall it was very fun. It was also very fun to kind of meet my bosses, so to speak, my managers, my talent agencies, because I left Machinima and I joined Atomic Partners, which is partnered under IGN, and I got to meet the 2 owners and some of the managers from Atomic Partners, and it's kind of a weird thing. It's like their talent manager, sort of, but then their boss at IGN. I don't know how this whole thing works, but it was very nice to meet these people, also very cool people to meet, and I had a really fun trip. I would recommend that if you can go to PAX, if you can afford those tickets to PAX Prime or whatever, you should buy them, definitely. It'll be fun. Pretty much all of YouTube is going to be there, and I know you watch YouTube because you're watching this video, and well, yeah, save an extra ticket for me, because they're going to sell out in like 10 minutes this year, so buy some extra and save me tickets. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this commentary. Drifter out.